Let's watch this clip of Angela Rayner giving a speech criticising the Conservatives for using empty slogans, while her whole speech is literally her delivering empty slogans, because no one really understands what Labour actually stands for. Let's watch.
These are national missions to reverse the trend of the sticking plaster politics and anchor every single decision to the interests of the people of Britain. Not just to tackle what holds us back, but to seize the opportunities of the future. Because more of the same just isn't good enough. Three-word slogans, empty promises, broken as quickly as they were made, leaping from crisis to crisis, driven by vested interests, cronies, oligarchs and lobbyists who have had more say over the shape of the last decade than working families have. Never again. And that's why Labour isn't afraid to be bold. We will be radical, but we will be realistic and responsible too. We know Britain won't flourish simply by hacking at the leaves, but by digging at the roots. So no more business as usual, but the real business of changing our country for the better. That's our shared purpose, and that's what unites us.
The one thing Labour like to do is they like to critique capitalism for all of the United Kingdom's problems. Like, for example, when she said that the UK was run by oligarchs and cronies. Like, yes, there is corruption in the United Kingdom. That doesn't mean there wasn't loads and loads of corruption under socialism. For example, Hugo Chavez giving loads of money to family members. The same with Robert Mugabe, Kwame Nkrumah, any socialist leader you could think of. The vast majority of them took loads of money from everyday working people and just used it to build mansions, to get fat. For example, in Venezuela, while people are starving, the communist leaders were fat and rich. And this is what people need to understand. Is Labour talk about socialism, however, we already live in a mixed market economy. The reason why it's so hard to buy a piece of land and live on it as you want is because the government has so many restrictions on buying land. The government is so involved in the housing market in that respect. It's very hard for people to literally do what they want with their own property, let alone buy property. The reason why houses aren't being built is because it's very hard for people to decide, oh, I'm going to build a house and get the planning permission to build a house. A lot of the problems in society are due to socialism. The government decides nurses' pay, not the free market, because we don't have a free market healthcare system. So the very reason why, a lot of these problems in society that the Labour will blame on the Tories are actually socialist parts of society. That socialist aspect of our economy, that is what they're actually complaining about. And does anybody know what Labour's plan for Britain is? What is Keir Starmer's plan for Britain? He doesn't really have one, because Labour for the past 12 years, all they've done is become experts at criticising the Conservative Party. That's literally all they're good for. They don't really have a plan. They just make speeches about this grand socialist utopia they're going to build that never actually happens because they can't even win an election. This is Reason, and I'm Liam. Like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more.